What in the world is that? Well, Dave, looks like you're using your creativity to good use. What a monstrosity you have built. What could you possibly come up with next?
Alright, let's get back to the grind of this fusion forge. So I decided to go with a large grid rover and also a large grid ship. So I had about 48 million SCs and now dwindled down to 16, which isn't terrible. But as you see here, the ship costs a lot more than the rescue rover. But the key thing is, I bought 2 rescue rovers, which equates to about 14 million SCs. Why did it got 2? Well, since I was buying both anyways, so we have a rover and the ship, and this thing has 2 large thrusters, atmospheric thrusters at least. And I wanted to put it on top of the rover itself, but to make it more symmetrical and a little bit better, I decided to put one on each side. So similarly where we are now with the 2 rovers, lift up the ship, squeeze the rovers together, make sure the atmospheric thrust is not burning down anything. That's our bottom half. So basically a hauler on skis right there. If that makes sense. But yeah, we do need several blocks to do this. So we need a block or 2 on the thruster or so. And I'm thinking maybe attach it on this yellow block here. And a little bit up. So maybe 2 blocks up, attach it to the lowest point of the thruster where we can. Same on the other side. But in order to do that, we need to extract some blocks. Because, once again, we are in this weird scenario where we can't build new things. So I do have my double-decker here, which is the monstrosity of a ship, which we no longer really need the cargoes on top. We don't really need the mini merchant on the double decking of the freighter. We just need one thing to really push us and go in terms of moving large grid blocks. So this is basically tug ship. It's a little big for a tug ship, but it is what we're going to be using it for. So let's see. We need to get this thing moving ever so slightly. I know I had another pile of stuff somewhere. And what I'm going to do is basically just drop it on the floor or drop some stuff down that we don't need. So like right over here. We'll just do a quick little redesign, if anything, just to kind of shrink this down a little bit because we don't need such a huge old tug ship in a way. All right, let's get that done. We do need the landing gear in the front, which we also have a few landing gears there and over here as well. We could double the landing gear, one here instead too. That's a possibility. That might be a better bet just to get it moving a little bit better, but I mean, I still need a block or 2 to do that. So these we no longer need. So we can grind them down or just detach them. I'm thinking just detaching them should be more than sufficient. Hopefully don't break anything because they're just sitting on top of it now. All right, now the problem is I need to release them from the top somehow. I guess that could work. If it doesn't break anything. Ooh. Gonna see if we get this thing released. Like so. Ooh. Alright, we're good. We got some weapons on here too. Very unlikely that we're gonna reuse them, but more or less the double decker is good because it has double tanks that we need. Alright, let's just throw these inside here. It's for safekeeping if we ever do need it in the case of getting ourselves destroyed. Highly doubt that's gonna happen, but just in case. And if we really wanted to expand this to be 2 landing gears, which one is more than sufficient, but we're gonna do 2. We just need 2 more blocks there as well, which we could probably get from this, which is the buggy rover, I want to say. Ooh, it's a little heavy. I can't push it that way. Can I push it in person? No. All right, that's fine. I could just shove it outside ever so slightly. That wasn't necessarily ever so slightly, but good enough. Am I out of the bubble? No. That should do. So we could use this block or maybe a full block somewhere, or the battery as well. That's also a possibility. I don't think there's really any full blocks on this thing for some reason, which is interesting enough, but if we could find one. All right, here. Go grab that. Ow, it's got pelted by something. All right. Full blocks right here and right here. So, of course, I need computers, steel plates, and components. All right, let's get these things attached by welding pad. So, we have now a new tug ship. More than we really need. But it has to be able to carry large grid blocks anyway. So, hopefully, that works out okay. Now, the other thing is... Actually, shoot. I might have needed it to have a landing gear on the bottom. So we can lock into this ship here somehow. That means we'll just grab from the sides here. We can use 2 or 1. Doesn't really matter. I think 1 is more than sufficient, but 2 makes it a little bit more of a safety net. So if 1 kind of buggers off or breaks, we'll be okay. So that means we'll have to detach this and this. Okay. We'll put this down here. Throw that down there. And we gotta waste some hydrogen, which is not something I wanted to do. But we're gonna do it anyways because we need the height. All right. So wherever we're gonna place this down, we gotta be careful where to place it. I'm guessing here and here looks like a good spot. Put that there, and then get the gears on there. Ooh, these gears needs a little bit of helping hand. Perfect. Got landing gears. It might be a little too spread apart and a little bit on the low side when it comes to the wheels. But the thing is, I don't necessarily need wheels anymore, but keeping them might be a better idea. All right, you chill here. And the plan now is I can't merge them yet because I need the blocks. So I'm going to go ahead and tackle, not tackle, but go to a relatively close station. I was thinking, where is it? Right there, salvage yard, which is 9 away, and that's SPRT owned, so I do not mind losing the rep for that. So let's go ahead and go into the hauler. So the hauler, if you didn't know, has a nice little entrance in the rear, and it goes all the straight to this little cockpit. And of course, there's a survival kit, old school bed, which I hope I could change to a new bed, but that's gonna be rough. All right, let's turn this thing on. I had to turn it off to save some batteries, but this thing's got tons and tons of power, I believe. I forget what it has in here. I mean, everything. I hate that everything's kind of hidden. All right, so the landing gears are not on, so that's fine. Let's get the other ship on top. Well, the tug ship in essence. Gears, once again. Did it kind of copy the same gears? I believe so. Let me see in the bottom. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Nice. So if you just detach it, it saves all the settings. Okay. Let's get this done. Ooh. Almost. Kind of hit the ship. Okay. So I'm going to land on the parachute hatch. I think this should be okay. Did I even land on it? Yes, I did. Kind of. All right, I'm gonna tilt a little bit to one side just so we can get the landing gears going. So we will lock in there, dampener off so we don't waste hydrogen or batteries and things like that. There's a grav gen here. We really don't need that, so we're gonna save some power that way. Parachute hatch, that can be off too, and we should be good to go. All right, so salvage yard, here we go. But before that, of course, we got an unknown signal to kind of tackle. And we're gonna have to drop in ever so slowly. Okay, we'll fix all the thrusters in a second in terms of brakes and gas and everything like that. But first, we need the unknown signal. Oh, it's a big one. Ah, brain seeds. Nice. All right. I'm okay. We don't need a battery and everything for now. I mean, when we're desperate, we need it, but we're not desperate currently, so we should be okay. Now, I don't know how I flew this thing, but salvage yard is behind us. Right there. Not too far. That's exactly what we needed. Something not too far. Just that dampener's off. Jeez, I could have just landed pretty bad. All right, gas off. Full speed ahead. And away we go. Okay, so we're here at the salvage yard. We do have a hydrogen engine that we could take as well, which would give us a little bit more power, but I would not know exactly where to put that anyways. Right back here would be great. Doesn't have a port though. So we would have to load hydrogen manually somehow. I don't know. But either way, I need a few blocks. We've got oxygen here too. I like these blocks here. That would work. I just gotta find a way to release them if anything. Ow. So any good blocks here? Actually, these are terrible blocks. Not exactly what I was looking for. If I could grab these, that'd be perfect. But I think they're stuck on the ground, which stinks. But this one seems to be fine, I think. Okay, the radiation doesn't really help, and I only have 2 more of those radiation kits. Too bad I can't make them. It'll speed things up if I just use it, though. Did I just use it? I feel like we should just do it, right? Might as well. And oh shoot. Did I have turned this into... I gotta turn this into a ship, huh? But I can't do that. Because I don't own it. It's not possible. This should have just fell down, actually. I mean, it probably will fall down. I hope. Unless it's still being held by something. I don't see anything underneath it. I mean, we'll give it a shot and see. But it should be falling down. Ah! Oh no, I'm just wasting steel plates now. Alright, that's off. Now, we don't own the block, but can we detach it? We can detach it. Perfect. So these are detached, but they're still floating for some reason. Mind-boggling as it may sound. Let's grab this then. We're gonna unlock. And we're stuck. Not good. Not good, not good, not good. So, why is it still considered a full block on there? Or why does it not fall? That kind of sucks. Because everything else here falls. I mean, if I did that and this, this block would fall, right? Yeah. So why doesn't that fall? That's insane. And that really sucked. Alright, maybe if I cut this out, it'll fall. Nope. 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 That's not good. I mean, backup plan, we can use these. Not really the ideal thing to use. Ooh, we can use this. Angled interior block. Let me see if I can collect that. I might be able to do it if it falls. The air vent. I don't know if I want to get rid of that. Fine. I see that falls down. No problem. Why doesn't those fall down? I would have loved to use those blocks, but you know what? It is what it is. We have no choice. So we'll grab this block, but I don't see another one that we could use. But we'll figure it out. Ooh. Got it. Yep, we got it. Fling that off. Let's plug it on the other side. Ah, meteors. Oh, gotta be careful. Let's drop this thing too crazy now. We're 5 meters from the ground. Okay. We'll throw in a big O. I want to do it that way. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, we'll drop it so it could be a little bit more centered. All right, there we go. And we said we want to throw it right in atmospheric thruster right here. Hopefully this doesn't clang out. A little bit worried here. Oh, that makes sense. Nice, it lets it go. So the idea would be, want to hang out a little bit more and then go down. Do we have any other blocks to do this? We have a beam here that kind of could work. Column. I don't like this. There's not many good blocks to utilize on this sinking station. Beam block could work. These are 2 on the ground. We might have to go elsewhere. I mean, a pipe would be interesting too. There's 2 over here actually. So how can I drop this? This is a full block now. Beam block, pipe work. Pipe work could be useful, but in this case, I think it's not going to work out because I need to chop all this off to free this. Okay, that's freed. This is not freed just yet. Great. We know that works. And we should be able to attach that. Yes, nice. Right, we can attach this. And we do what we did before. How did we angle this? The angle's on the thruster. And there we go. We are good. Now we need another one here. Or here. Going downwards. Either one works fine. Unfortunately, I don't see any more to utilize. I mean, I can utilize this, but I don't know. Let's see. Cut this in half. What we got? We got a half block here, which could work. We'll stick the half block out onto this side, right? Any more half blocks? Yes, there's plenty of half blocks, so we could utilize that. I feel like it needs to go down and out one more, though. So if we have the blocks to do it, we should probably do that. So the hydrogen engine can technically go here, but that removes a port for me. But there is a port inside, but this is the only port on the outside. We could temporarily just throw it on the thruster for now and just keep it there or up here. Yeah, we could do that and have it stick out a little bit until we can find a small hydrogen tank or something like that, because we don't want it to utilize the hydrogen in here anyways. We could get a port through here though, because we don't necessarily need a parachute hatch, and I'm pretty sure this is being utilized for something. So if there is some kind of port I could use, and port I mean a conveyor or so, which I think I destroyed. Nice little pipe would have been nice, but don't got that. The O2 system would be a little too high, but an O2 system would be nice too to have on here. Could be placed here technically, but I think this block is this built on top. Yeah, it's built on top, not on the bottom. You can't really put that there. It could go here. Yeah, we can extract the oxygen from here, but it's just going to be on the outside because we have no way to put that in terms of a plumbing. But we do, well, we have oxygen tanks here. We don't need it. Never mind. All right, so actually that's a good spot for the hydrogen then, other than here. But here would be nice because there should be a port there. Should definitely be a port there. Yeah, there's definitely a port there. So, actually, no, there is no port there. That's just the hatch itself. And put that here. So this might be a little bit rough to do, as we've experienced before when there's 2 blocks on left and right. It makes it a little bit tough, but we got a tug ship going, so it might work a little bit better than grabby hands. I would hope that's the case, because we're going to plug this in. Nope. It's okay. I think if we just position it a little bit okay or well, should go in. No problem. I thought something was just about to blow up. Yeah, it doesn't slide in there as easy as I thought it would. Oh, okay, that kind of worked. If we let it go, I'm just gonna tilt a little bit just to get this positioned a little bit better. You have to be like super perfect or something, I guess, to really let it just fall in. I don't know. It's just a little bit ridiculous when it comes to putting these things in. Drop. Yeah, it's got that issue. I mean, it's not a terrible issue, but still pretty bad. I mean, you could plug it here for sure, but I just gotta release these 2 blocks and then find a way to put them back on, if anything, which would be a little rough to do. Yeah, that sucks. I don't know if I could just nudge it. I might even break it, but it wants to go in, but it's not going in. Right there, see? That really stinks. So that means I have to... If I release these... I guess we could put them back. It's not that bad. That should just go in, no problem. Ooh. And of course, wasting more mats doing this, but... has to be done. Okay, our hydrogen's getting a little bit on the lower end, which is not great, but be all right for now. I don't think we need to tug anymore after we get the last pieces in. Okay, so I cannot grab that to the welding pad, which I was hoping that was going to be possible. Ooh, I can't see a thing now. All right. We're just going to drop down here. Ooh. Can we drop it, hope for it to go in? I mean, that should go in, right? Flip it this way. That should definitely go in. Oh, no, maybe not. There. Okay, that's one. That was a bit insane. Now, the next one be hard to kind of push in as well. Ooh. I have the welding pad here. which may or may not work. Feel like it's not going to work. Actually, that's the bottom already, so I can do that. Grab this. We'll spin it and let it go. Okay, that wasn't the plan there. Can we flip? Okay, no, it didn't like that flip. Okay, I might have to utilize something over here. Caveman style. Come on. Need to put it on an edge. Ooh. That almost did pretty well. If I flip this like that. No, it just wants to flip back the other way. That's really annoying. Oh. I can grab with grabby hands. Interesting. Did not know I could grab a large block like this with grabby hands. I thought it was just small grid. Alright, so if that's the case, that's what we're gonna do. Only problem is it's a little bit on the heavy side to really bring it up there. I mean, and we can just use the force like that. Okay, so that is basically going to be a lost cause unless I remove this and then put that back on, which, yeah, it's just annoying, but I guess it's going to have to happen if we want to keep the design. Kind of ridiculous, but... Okay. We grab that. We have 38% hydrogen left on the monstrosity. Just not great. All right, let's just get this thing up here. Go in, go in, go in, go in, go in. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Come on. There we go. Yes. Whew. Okay. Now a little bit of exposure here, but I think we can... Nope. All right, we're going to have to deal with this quick. Okay. Get that done. Get some food in me or some med kits. Probably med kit would be better, but we can now slap this thing on. Why do I want to keep the design here? Who knows, but we've done it. Ridiculous, but it worked. Okay. So now, do I need anything else from here? Slap on it. A nice little searchlight would be nice, but that's probably really, really hard to do. I still can't believe I could pick up stuff with the grabby hands. I didn't even think that was possible. I can't pick this up because it's stuck to the ground, I guess. I wanted it to... Let me think. Actually, no, we can't L-shape it. Oh, we could, we could. We had to sideways do it. Like this. But that makes a weak point. Once you snap that off, the rover is gone. We need to flip this over the other way. Alright, that's going to be more than difficult to do. Because these blocks do not like to stay on the not so heavy side like that. Oh, actually it did. Interesting enough, it worked out okay. So we'll grab this over. Yeah, it's trying to flip over. But I'm not letting it. It's heavy. There. That's the L shape I was talking about. Now on the bottom, you put a welding pad. Yeah, that's exactly why we want to do it, but it is also a really, really weak point if I did that. Did I grab one of those half slope blocks? Can I even grab this one, or is this one is like stuck? Nope, that's stuck. That's a waste of time. So I think here it's kind of stuck for whatever reason. I'm not even sure why. Or is it because of this? It might be this. Nope, not. There's one right here. So that's basically No, that one's hard to grab as well. This two right here. So I was thinking putting it right underneath here, if possible. I think so. The only unfortunate piece is that we do need to lift up a little bit. All right, so we need to slap one over here. Wait, hold on. Can we slap one on this? Not like this. So it needs to go in. Can I turn this way? Do I get this? Yes, like that. That's exactly what we need. Ooh, come on. Can you go in? No, it doesn't work. Well, of course, because it didn't weld up the stupid pad. Of course, that's not going to work. What a waste. What a dumb idea that was. All right, there we go. There we go. There we go. Easy as can be. Nope. Come on. No. There we go. Nice. We want to get one here. And a half block. Right over here. Why are you so heavy? Oh, don't tell me there's a heavy one. This is a heavy. Yeah. I do not need a heavy armor block on there. There's no way I need that. This is more than enough right here. That's why that one was super heavy. There we go. Nice. Let's give that a little bit of a weld. Oh, this is a heavy one too. Actually, okay, so I decided to put a heavy one there and a light one here. Probably shouldn't use the heavy ones though. Yeah. All right, that's fine. I mean, it's only 2 blocks. It's not gonna weigh down the ship by a lot. So we should be okay. There we go. Okay, let's get this ship up and over to where it needs to park. Right over here. Ooh. Completely off. Okay, there we go. Got one landing gear on there. Cam burner off. And away we go. I think we got everything we needed from the scrapyard. Don't need antenna. Don't need a timer block. I think we're good here. So we don't need anything else here at all. Searchlight would be nice. Oh, it's actually not that heavy. I thought it'd be heavier than that. This will be basically my camera, if anything. If I could find a spot for it. It could go right here. It could. Is that going to ruin anything in terms of design? Probably. It could go right on top. Or back here. Throw it back here. Why not? Is the question, right? If we can do it, why not? And drop it down and start pushing it forward. And we have a searchlight. Pointless. Because it's aiming at me for whatever reasons. Is it aiming at me? Yeah, it's aiming at me. Or the small grid ship, but we can change that if anything. But we are good. I got everything here. Now we can head back to the economy base, get our 2 rovers on this thing, and then we could travel and grab everything that we own. Okay, just gonna emergency stop. Always a bad idea to do that because you never know if it gets stuck in there. If I do get stuck in there, then I'd be screwed. There you go. So this is the rovers. Let's throw this outside for now. I'm gonna tilt it this way around. Drop down. We do have to travel to another one of those economy bases. I forget which one already. Been a while. Dealing with all the other craziness. But one of them has the hydrogen thing. The CL station. That's what it was. Ooh. I haven't seen this in a while. I can't afford it anyways, but this would have been really nice to have. But it's more atmospheric, I think, right? This is interplanetary with a jump drive. What? And transfer small ship, which I could throw my tug in there. But I'm not seeing hydrogen on here. That's the thing, unless it's ion thrusters. But that's not going to get me off Mars, I think. We should probably be able to. Maybe it does have hydrogen. I'm just not seeing it. But yeah, I can't afford that. 73. That's a lot. Okay, now, since it's still night, let's just try to get these two things on. It's going to be a little bit rough to get it on here specifically. Oh, but actually, the half block that I have covers this. But getting in between that, that's going to be rough. So, either use that spot, take out the solar panel, use this spot, or remove that and use this spot. So, there's some options. They're all going to be a little messy of an option, but it's a possibility. I don't even know if we could kind of travel with two rovers. It's going to make the whole thrusting kind of obsolete then. Maybe. It might be too heavy to carry all these two rovers. I mean, it will make for a cool design for sure, but I don't know if this is a good idea. We're going to try it anyways because we're got nothing better to do in a way. I'm going to slap that on somewhere around there. Alright, it's going to be hard to do this because I can't see a thing. It's a little bit on the farther side of things. Actually, we're right there. Alright, let's see how this holds up. Two large atmosphere thrusters. Can it hold two rovers? I think it can hold one rover at least. Luckily, I didn't restrict myself to not do third-person view, because that would have sucked. What's holding it up? Oh. That extra piece that I worked hard for. Not gonna work. Say goodbye. That is what was messing with it. Oh, man. What a waste of time. It's fine. There we go. Do we have lift? Ooh, we have pretty good lift here. That piece there. Oh, the problem with this now is the other rover, the opposite side of it, is gonna be this little hanging thing. All right, let's see if that's gonna go in or not. Hopefully that little thing's not gonna block us from being able to put that there. That'd be somewhat ridiculous. This whole thing is ridiculous, to be honest, but I'm actually having a lot of fun doing this. It's annoying, but also fun at the same time for whatever reasons to me. All right, we'll back this up appropriately so we get matched up, and we just gotta move a little bit to our left. We have so many survival kits now, actually. I didn't even realize that. Oh, we didn't park this thing. We didn't park this thing. We didn't park this thing. Why are we making a stupid mistake? Get over there. All right. Let's get this thing working. So we want to get rid of this block. Okay. Say, oh, I'm flying with it. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, that works perfect. Was this window built outside? Yes, it was. So either way, this block becomes pointless regardless of anything I've done. More steel plates. Come on. Yeah, that's not gonna let us through. We'll release that little bit of a triangle or slope block. We don't need it. I don't think it's necessary to have this here. Goodbye. Come on. Yes. Release the dampeners and look at our monstrosity in the fog. I can't even see a thing. Let's do that again. Oh, we didn't park it. We didn't park it. Why? What are we doing? That's okay. It's going into the bubble. All right. All right. Complete. Oh, we don't even need thrusters. We have wheels. We can turn. I can't see a thing. Ooh. We'll try that again. Let's see what it looks like. Hauler on skis. I wish we had a half block to fix this a little bit better. Because it's just being held by that. That is dangerous. If we flip this, it'll be great. I mean, we could do it ourselves right now. It won't look great, but I think we should do that. Slap that on there. Perfect. Now that looks like a decent design, I guess. Not really, but it's good enough. Okay. Hauler on skis. Perfection. Technically, yeah, I think I could have just used this and kind of glued it on the wall here. It'll be 2 blocks lower. Actually, that could have worked. Yeah, it could have worked. Why did I do this? No idea. Now the turrets here. There's no ammo in them, but they are active. No, they're off. So there are a whole bunch of stations around, which we could loot and everything like that. Things we need, I don't know. Wind turbine could be useful, but we need a big old landing gear to glue on the floor in order for it to work. Don't need a big old refinery. Don't need a big old assembler. Use more thrusters, but that's the hard find when it comes to these bases. More weaponry would be nice. Gatling turrets would be nice, and I could just manually load them for now if I can't get a port anywhere. And some other conveyor junctions would be nice too. I think that's what we need. So is there, yeah, the butthole connector there. I don't know why I call it butthole connector, but if I could, ooh. Right, yeah, this is flying like a dream, except for side thrusting. We need a little bit more. I need a downed distress signal type of deal in order to get more thrusters on there. I know there's a ship with like ion thrusters. That would be really nice too, because we do want to get to space. And once we get to space, you know what? We're probably going to junk this thing and actually use a proper ship and not this ridiculous looking ship. But if we find another common station, they should have ships to sell too. And this is actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Get in. And yeah, we release thrusters. This is a drop in 15 minutes, which is fine. Not a big deal. But that works out because we are plugged in through the boot. As we were saying, it's going to work out. Actually, it almost didn't work out. Right there. Wow. May have been purposely designed to fit most stations, I would assume. I would hope so, at least. All right, do you have any other large grids? Nope, it's this same bulk freighter. So that's the best we can do, unless we go to the space one. There is one, a station in space that's not too bad. Was it the same station? No, it was FCSB, which is what? Ships. So, yeah, you know what? I could have just got the hauler, filled it up with all my crap, go to base, grab everything that we need, and head over to the FCSB so we can have some fun in space instead. Instead, we grab these rovers for skis, which more or less we don't need. Great. 14 mil spent for no apparent reason. But it's good for traveling for now throughout the base here. So GPS pointer, I know big thruster. No, I don't really need that. I know I did something right here. Meds, rockets, and thrusters. This it's 8 away. That station has some stuff that we can utilize. So that's where we're gonna be headed. Whoops. Well, that just shows an example of what it would look like when it released on its own. All right, let's go. Ion thruster components right over there. And I say ion thruster components because that's what thruster components are used for. Just ion thrusters. All right, what's in here? Nothing. So you can hold my scrap if you want. Don't know what's in there. Whose base is this? RLTL. Is RLTL something we care about? Not necessarily. I don't really care to purchase weaponry. There's a battery right here. That could be for the taking. Yeah, so our real salvaging begins now because we can salvage the large grid stuff, which is perfect because there's a whole bunch of large grid stuff on all these planetary encounters and bases and things like that. Yeah, 2 Gatlins, we can definitely do that. We got, ooh, conveyor junctions, pipings. We're gonna need it for our turrets and everything like that. Where did I put everything anyway? I would thought I put them outside. Oh, the O2H2 generator. I forget if there's ice in here. Yes, there is. Grab that. But that's gonna load up our oxygen or hydrogen, which is the worst part. Ooh, hydrogen. Hydrogen. I could plug that on my butt again. That's a weird way of saying that, but I could grab that and place it here for emergency power now. I mean, we could dangle it down this way and put a conveyor junction or something similar to that instead. Or right here, C-tubing. But yeah, we can C-tube it that way if we don't want it to be protruding out like that. It would also look weird by dangling it down too. So there's also that. But anyways, where's my... Oh, I didn't even know there was a window here. That looks cool. But anyways, where did I put everything? Because there's no car containers down there. I would have put everything out here. I think I looted it already, didn't I? I'm assuming that's the case. But we're going to call it for now. It's a storm. I hope you enjoyed this one. And of course, I'll see you guys next time.